Hey guys, how's it going? I just wanted to throw a little disclaimer on the video you're about to watch because I made an error. I was loading up the long Rallycross track thinking it would be more or less the same as the short Rallycross that I did. And it was, but it was also different enough that it provided with such a frustrating level of difficulty that I wasn't expecting that led to a lot of just somewhat negative comments about Rallycross racing and the Rallycross car in general. And I just want you guys to know that after rethinking my approach, taking a little bit of a break halfway through the challenge, that I started to appreciate the track a little bit more and started to have a little bit of fun. So just a quick heads up, the beginning of the challenge, if you're a big fan of Rallycross track, it might start to irritate you, but I assure you that by the end of the challenge, I really started to appreciate the Rallycross racing more. And I hope you guys stick through and enjoy the video, so thanks for watching. Hello everybody, this is Yakes87 and welcome back to Rallycross on the Yakes87 World Tour. Now last time we ran the short Rallycross track at Daytona, and this time we're going to be doing the long Rallycross track. And the first thing I noticed when just loading up a lap just to see the similarities and differences between the two tracks is that corner I was having trouble with on the short course. They've kind of smoothed it out a little bit, but there's a lot more walls on the track, which makes it a little bit more treacherous, and you'll see what I mean. But I'm going to go ahead and start the car up, and we're going to go around the corner, and we've got 87 laps of Rallycross to do. So this is going to be the same thing, 8-10 lap segments and a 7-lap segment to finish it off with 2 jokers, and here we go, green flag for Rallycross. So as you can see, yeah, right there, that's what I was talking about. There's just a lot more walls, and they made this corner just a little bit smoother. It's a little nicer, as I'm still just going off track. And then instead of like the shortcut, we come out here onto the main speedway, where for whatever reason there's like a little patch of dirt here, but that doesn't really change things too much. And then obviously this is more or less the same. And here you can choose, you know, whether you want to do the joker lap or not. So put this here. And 1 lap is in the books here at the longer Rallycross track at Daytona International Speedway. These Rallycross events have been just more fun than I ever thought they would be. Like, I thought I was going to, like, as I'm running into the barrels here, I thought for sure that, you know, when I put the Rallycross events on the tour, I was like, maybe we don't need to do those. But at the same time, I was, like, really determined to run every track configuration. And as I mentioned in the last one, you can't really exclude the Rallycross because not only is it unique, it's not like any other track configurations, but if I excluded the Rallycross, I would be excluding all of dirt road courses from the tour. And that's just not fair for those for my fans that are really big on Rallycross and dirt racing in general. So that's why we're doing the Rallycross events. Plus, there's not a whole lot of them, so we're going to be through with the Rallycross tracks pretty quickly. And this is the only track that had 2 Rallycross configurations, so it's going to make this Rallycross event seem kind of like a chore, but at the same time also not, just because there were 2 of them. And I'm going to do a joker lap here. Yeah, I think the next Rallycross event after this one is, I believe it is Phoenix, when we get to Phoenix. So it'll be a little bit before we get to some more Rallycross, and then after that, I think the next one is Sonoma. I don't know. I'm not familiar with all the Rallycross layouts, but we got a couple of them here on the first stage. They're mostly on like old circuits or unused circuits and things like that, but they were just like, hey, let's put the Rallycross track here, guys. That'd be really fun. So I don't know. I kind of said all I needed to say about the Rallycross in the last video. My thoughts on Rallycross haven't really changed. a whole lot, but I do appreciate just, even though it's like a longer course, I appreciate that the course itself is drastically different from the short rallycross track that we did. Joker. The other thing to note is the lap times, with all the extra stuff added, are about 10 seconds longer than the short course, which, you know, if you're running just like a rallycross event, it probably doesn't change a whole lot. But because this is an endurance challenge for 87 laps, it definitely does change things up just a little bit. So we'll see. There's going to be a lot of rallycross that we're doing, and that's going to make it a lot of fun. Like I mentioned before in the last video, as of right now, my plan for the rallycross events is 8 10-lap segments and then a 7-lap segment. So if you guys have any other ideas on ways to do more rallycross events, ways to make the rallycross more entertaining while also doing 87 laps, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys and see what you think about my approach to 87 laps at rallycross tracks. Well, there's not a lot going on here, so I'm going to go ahead and just focus on running these laps. If I have anything interesting to say that I think of, I'll definitely say it, and you guys will see it right here in the World Tour video. But until then, we're just going to run some laps. We got a lot of rallycross to do. Hey guys, we're back. I forgot to say some closing thoughts at the end of lap 10, but I don't really have any. This is just the rallycross laps. Like right now, are just taking like just such an immense amount of concentration. I don't know if it's just because this track is just that much more difficult than the other one, or just the fact that I'm kind of just like burnt out on rallycross because like it's probably abnormal to run that many rallycross laps, and now I'm like, let's do it again, more rallycross. That's what we want, more rallycross. So kind of glad that it'll be a while before we go to the next rallycross, just because it'll give me a little bit of a break. You know, we got some short tracks in the mix, and some oval racing, and a lot of road courses, and just something to just take a little break. I feel like that's going to be like my biggest challenge with the World Tour, is when we get just long stretches of the same type of racing without anything to break it up. I think that's what's going to really drag on me, because like I've been kind of just dragging, knowing that I have to do this rallycross video, because I'm just like, I enjoyed the rallycross video, but it was also like, it was just so much of it, and I'm not very good at it, so I'm just like, we gotta do more. I don't want to do more, but we'll do more, because I am not going to give up on this. We're not going to give up. We're not going to skip events. We're going to keep going, and we're going to do 87 laps at every racetrack. Now, what this means is, if I run into like, you know, like some kind of delay or something like that, we may not be able to keep it exactly on schedule, but my goal is to try to get things on schedule as much as possible. Obviously, with things coming up, or just, you know, running into like a stretch of challenges that are just obnoxiously long, and I'm just not running into the time to get those done, obviously things will be adjusted, and I will let you guys know. But for the most part, expect a World Tour video on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays every week. 3 days a week, World Tour videos. Whether it's challenges or intermission videos or something like that, expect a video Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. This Daytona one, this is probably the biggest challenge for me right now, and this isn't the only one that's going to be like this, because there's 6 layouts, which means it's going to be, it's basically like 2 straight weeks of content. And you know what's been nice for me is I use the little intermission videos as a way to make sure that there's still content, allow me to update you guys on the tour, and also give myself just a little bit of a break between driving challenges, because some of these do take a really, really long time. And that's not a bad thing, because it does kind of make things a little bit more interesting as I do a Joker. But the thing I'm really trying to avoid with the tour is burnout. I don't want to burn myself out on the tour. I want to keep things fresh. And if that means that, you know, maybe I gotta take a day off or something like that, miss the schedule, or work ahead of time, get videos uploaded, you know, even more, you know, maybe do like a Friday video instead of like a Thursday video if I'm not able to get things done on Thursday in time, that sort of thing. But I'm definitely going to keep you guys updated. We're going to try to keep the content fresh. We're going to try to keep it constant. And we're going to try to get every track completed when every track gets completed. So I don't have like a deadline to get every track done, just because in order to get like everything done like right away, like within like a year's time, there's just so many track layouts that I would have to be like basically uploading a video every single day in order to make that happen. So this is definitely a very, very long-term project, but at the end of the day, every track will get completed. And I do have a contingency plan in place should additional racetracks be released over the process of the tour. We already had like 3 tracks come out since the tour started. We had the Charlotte Roval, which doesn't really affect the tour because that's just an extra event that gets added on to Charlotte, which Charlotte isn't even scheduled yet. But we also had Tsukuba, which that track, the Japan tracks aren't even scheduled yet, so that wasn't really a big deal. But the one track that did throw a wrench in my schedule is the Chili Bowl track, because that's in Oklahoma, and I already have like through Texas and Phoenix and up to the Midwest scheduled already. So as I've mentioned in previous videos, the Chili Bowl track will come in place after Texas Motor Speedway before we head over to Phoenix. So expect the Chili Bowl, you know, probably sometime in February, I think. Yeah, February we should get the Chili Bowl going. Probably by the end of February. I have everything scheduled in my my schedule folder, so I have to double check that. But I did, as long as I stick with the Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday upload plan with intermission videos between tracks, I should be done with Florida by the end of January and starting on Texas in February. So that's really exciting because right now it's kind of felt, it feels like a tour still, but it hasn't completely felt like a tour yet because I'm just like running around to tracks in Florida, and it's just going to be so much fun when I get to load up tracks in, you know, Texas and Phoenix and out in California and Las Vegas, and you just going all over the place, checking out different tracks. 47.409. So definitely looking forward to that. Just getting out of here, and then it's like it's going to feel like we're on tour, which is going to be awesome, which is what I've been waiting for. I mean, it's kind of felt like that, but at the same time, I'm kind of just like running my Florida tracks. I'm just like, yeah, I like Florida. But I mean, there's a lot of just really good quality racetracks in Florida, so I can't blame them for being a lot of Florida events. But anyway, we're coming around here. This will be the conclusion of lap 20. which means we're basically almost a quarter of the way through.
45.
So I'm gonna go load up another session, and we're gonna do to lap 30. Hey guys, welcome to laps 30 to or 31 to 40, or no, wait, no, 21 to 30. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to skimp you guys on laps. This is 21 to 30 here on the Yakes87 World Tour, which will take us past a quarter of the way through this challenge. The quarter way mark being lap 22. I don't have a whole lot to say for this one, so this will probably be a quick race and cut. Don't really have a whole lot to say, so I'm just going to run some laps. 21 through 30. Let's do this, boys.
46, 46, 0, 2, 6, 8.
Alright, so we're on the final lap, guys. Just gotta come around this corner one more time. And
50.
that will be the conclusion of lap 50. No. Lap 30, guys. That's the conclusion of lap 30. We're not skipping laps here. We're doing all 87 on the Rallycross track. So, let's do this. Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to laps 31 to 40. This is going to take us almost to halfway here at the long Rallycross track at Daytona International Speedway. I don't know what else to say other than let's try not to spin out. This is very difficult, and I don't like this very much. Not that not liking this very much is it's not like a I hate Rallycross. It's like I just kind of like, I don't really like this track, this layout too much. I kind of like the shorter layout more. It just flowed nicer. This one just kind of, it's an okay Rallycross track. I mean, I've only driven this one, the short, and the Iowa track, and I don't know. I really like the Daytona short Rallycross track. Like, that one was fun. The short Rallycross track was a lot of fun. This one's been kind of okay. Definitely a lot more challenging, which is weird because it only adds just like a little bit to the track, but challenging it is. And I know, as challenging as this one is going to be, I'm really nervous about the next event on the tour, which is the Radical on the moto track. I feel like that might have been a mistake. I don't know the track very well, and that car just seems to be really unstable, but alright, so we're coming around, and lap 40 complete.
1 minute 30.
Hello everybody, welcome back. We're doing 41 to 50 in this set of laps, which will take us past halfway here at the Daytona Long Rally Course. So we're approaching halfway. We're just about done here with the Rallycross event, and yeah, it's been an interesting challenge. As you'll see, I put my hat on for this one. in between loading the session up, I realized I forgot to put my, iconic Yakes87 YouTube hat on that I wear in all my videos, most of them anyway. So, forgot the hat. We got the hat now. Maybe the hat will give us a little bit of good luck. Definitely need it, because this is a very difficult racetrack. I definitely feel like, in terms of like the Rallycross challenges, I've probably said this before, but if I have, I'll say it again. They're fun, but this much Rallycross, it's not as much fun. I'm just going to be honest, this is not as much fun. I don't know if this, I can't really rank this as less exciting than the Jetta challenge I did, just because it's kind of weird because of just the way the limitations of the Rallycross car and the way the tracks are built, and the fact that I can't stop for fuel. So it doesn't feel as bad because in between takes there's like a couple of minutes of like loading another session up, and just so I can get an accurate lap count in each session. So there's a little bit of time off there that I didn't really get with the Jetta challenge. So as like tedious and annoying as some of these Rallycross challenges have been so far, they're not as tedious as something like the Jetta was, just because the Jetta, there was no like 5-minute break every 10 laps because I gotta wait for the new sessions to load up so we can get a new set of laps. The Jetta was just a straight 87 laps. So it's kind of interesting. I wish I could set these up as just straight up 87 laps, because it would make them, number one, it would definitely make them harder, because it's definitely a lot harder to do 87 laps without mistakes and stuff, or damaging the car, which I haven't damaged the car yet, but in the short course we lost like 2 engines doing this, and I still don't know why exactly we lost some engines, but that happened. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish up this set of laps, because we are past halfway now. We're on lap 45 now. We completed lap 44, which means we are halfway through this long rallycross course. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm going to finish up this segment, and we'll be back with you guys for lap 50. This is actually lap 50 this time. Anyway, see you at lap 50.
43.684.
Woo! Lap 50. So, last lap in this section, and at the conclusion of this, we'll have only 37 laps to go. Doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a lot. That's a lot of laps. This whole thing is a lot of laps. Why did I do this? This is fun. All right. Lap 50. Alright guys, we're green for laps 51 to 60. So, not too much longer. And we're going to be done with this. I don't really have a whole lot more to say on this, so we're just gonna cut to lap 60. You guys will be able to see that, yeah, I'm running out of things to say because I said pretty much everything I needed to say about Rallycross in the last Rallycross video. So now I'm just like, it's a different track. It's a little bit more difficult of a track, but it's kind of the same thing. So, apologize. This video is probably not going to be that great, but you know what? I'm not giving up. We're still doing 87 laps on every track, even if that means some tracks not as exciting as the others, but I don't know. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys are enjoying my madness of rambling as I complete 87 laps of Rallycross twice. This is so much Rallycross. I can't take it anymore. No, but in all seriousness, this whole World Tour thing has been so much fun. But I think, for me personally, this bullshit happens all the time with this car. I hate this. I hate this route. I hate this. It just fucking spins out. Just for the stupidest reasons. Like, it doesn't. It's dirt. It's dirt. I'm gonna be honest. The dirt and the spinning out and the lack of grip, I can't take it anymore. I'll be honest. Like, I think scheduling the two Rallycross events here so close together was a mistake. I think it would have definitely benefited from like opening with a Rallycross event and closing with a Rallycross event instead of going Rallycross, road course, Rallycross. Because I'm just getting like a little annoyed and frustrated with the Rallycross, just because it's too much, honestly. Like, if I'm being real, because like an actual Rallycross event is probably like 8 laps total between like your heat race and the main lap race. So just one of these challenges is probably the equivalent of running like 10 Rallycross races. Maybe more. 46.20. So, I mean, it's just too much. That's all I'm gonna say about it. It's not bad. It's just to me, it's just a little too much too quickly, if that makes sense. So, I'm gonna try to get this done. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna just move it over. It is gonna be the next video that comes out. You guys are seeing it as the next video. I don't know why it does this all the time, but thank you. I don't even care about the mistakes at this point. Like in the other road course, like obviously the road course challenges are like about not making mistakes, but I don't know, there's just something just too unpredictable, and just the fact that I don't drive this. Like, I didn't really drive this until it was time to record these videos, so I legit have no idea what I'm doing in terms of like how to actually properly get around these courses in Rallycross. I honestly have no idea, which is why it probably looks like shit. But anyway.
47.277.
Alright, so we are on the last lap, everybody. Well, not the last lap, but the last lap of this section. So, lap 60 will be in the books before long. Okay. I don't have any response at this point. I'm just annoyed by this. But okay, lap 60 is in the books. Let's get these other ones out of the way and be done with this, shall we? Yay! Woo! Let's go, boys! Welcome back to the Daytona Long Rallycross track. We're going to be doing another set of 10 laps here And this should take us all the way to lap 70, which means we are almost done with this. Now, you may have seen the disclaimer at the beginning of the episode here, and I just want to kind of clarify what that was all about. So, in the process of recording this video, which has taken a very long time, and just I don't know what it is, but just I haven't really been in like I don't know what to say about it other than just the fact that I've been driving, you know, a lot of cars that just like handle really well over the past week. You know, been driving the K&N car a bit, and I did the Jetta race, and just I've been in just like this mindset of like preparing for road course racing and some oval track racing, and just cars that just drive really well. And just for whatever reason, this configuration it doesn't seem that much more difficult, but it really is. I mean, 45. A lot of this stuff, you know, this part here, this is pretty much the same. But coming off the jump, everything else, just because of the angles of the corners and how they're set up, I'm having a much more difficult time with it than, you know, I was with the short course, just because there is more dirt. And it's the same thing with this set of corners here, you know, with the little bit of dirt here that just really causes you to lose traction as you come across this section. So I didn't notice that like at first, and it wasn't until like halfway through the last section, you know, lap 45, that I realized that this track is definitely a lot more difficult of a rallycross track than the Daytona short course. And as my own fault for not paying attention and realizing that, you know, it's led to just a lot of just mistakes and frustrations with the car and the track surface and all of that, which isn't necessarily the car's fault or the track surface fault, but falls more on me as a driver, not knowing, you know, how to necessarily attack and approach these rallycross events. So I'm gonna try. Obviously, I can't undo, you know, some of my seemingly negative comments in the midsections of the video, but I'm gonna try to make sure that, you know, from this point forward, any of my commentary is on the positive side, just because I realize that it's my own mistakes, my own errors, that have kind of led to some of the frustrations that I've been having. And, you know, I wanted it to be clear that, okay, that's something that's all on me, but hopefully it doesn't mess the car up too much, but I think we're gonna be okay. But that's just what I wanted to say, was that, you know, these mistakes, these errors I'm making, they're all on me, and I'm going to try to get through this event with as much, you know, good things to say, with a lot more positivity. I don't know what that was about, but anyway, that's all I gotta say about that. I think this is probably an issue caused by the damage, but we'll just cut to the end. We're gonna finish this section. We've got just a few to go. But that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to clarify with you guys that I did put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video, letting you guys know that, you know, some of my thoughts were in frustration, not necessarily my actual, like, accurate thoughts about, you know, this challenge, the Rallycross event as a whole. So, just wanted to clarify that, and let's move forward and enjoy the challenge.
7-1.
Alright, welcome to lap 70, guys. It's just loose spinning. But like I mentioned before, I'm not going to blame those things on the car. I'm not going to blame it on the track. You know, that's entirely down to me not being very good at all at dirt racing and trying to tackle probably one of the most difficult tracks I've seen with the Rallycross. And it's weird because it doesn't seem that hard, but it is. But anyway, we got just 2 more videos to go, so we're gonna continue this up. We got 17 laps to go, everybody. So, woo! Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're officially in the last 10-lap segment of the Daytona long Rallycross track. I'm just gonna take a little shortcut here, not hit anything. Slow down just a little bit. But yeah, this is the last 10-lap segment. The last one with 2 Joker laps. So that is really exciting. We are just about done here with Daytona Rallycross. As I mentioned before, like I said, a lot of my negative comments, you know, I'm trying not to be negative when it comes to these challenges. I'm trying not to let them get to me, but I think, you know, I'll own it up to my own lack of, you know, skill set when it comes to these difficult Rallycross tracks, but also just I think it was just a mistake scheduling them too close together. I thought it would be kind of cool to go from like shortest track to longest track at Daytona with everything ending on the oval, which obviously meant doing the 2 Rallycross tracks in the short course before doing the moto and the road course. And I think that overall that plan has kind of backfired on me personally. So obviously this is the only track that has 2 Rallycross layouts, so you know it was first for me. Obviously there's nothing I can do about it at this point, and there's not a whole lot to learn moving forward when it comes to Rallycross layouts, other than to try to give myself as much space between them as possible. So we're going to do that moving forward, just kind of pay attention to where the Rallycross layouts are in relation to each other, and try to make sure that, you know, I probably should have done a little bit more practice with this. I kind of just looked at it like, oh, it's basically the same thing, but just with a different section. And I think that kind of backfired on me. So I wound up having to use like the first segments as like actually like learning the track and how to get around it, when it should have been the opposite. I should have known what I'm doing before I loaded the session up. So that one is entirely on me, and I'm definitely going to try to avoid that moving forward. Especially since, you know, this is one of the first layouts where there actually is a drastic, there's like a slight change to the racetrack that makes it drastically different. So I'm going to keep that in mind moving forward, that even though the track layout doesn't look that different from the one I would do previously, that to make sure I run enough practice laps to get it figured out, just so that I know how the track flows. One of the ones that, you know, I'm really going to try to apply this to is Road America. Road America actually has 2 layouts, the regular track, and then there's one with a chicane at the top of the track. And it's one of those that's just like, well, does that really change anything? But I have a feeling it's gonna change something. So we'll definitely keep an eye out for that, and just make a note moving forward that even if the track change is just slightly different, I still need to put in the practice and make sure I know what I'm doing before I sit down and record these videos. Otherwise, it's just going to lead to a lot of frustration, and I don't want to do that. I don't want these videos to be, you know, like the start of this one was, where it's just me being negative and just complaining about the racing when I need to just drive the car. So definitely going to do my best to avoid that moving forward, but you know, what's done is done. I don't want to start over with these just because I'm already like a little burnt out on Rallycross as it is. So unfortunately, this probably won't be my proudest video on the Yakes87 World Tour, but for those of you that may enjoy watching some Rallycross, and not only that, but it also proves it's also video proof that, hey, even though the video wasn't of good quality, I still sat here and did the time and got all 87 laps done on the track, even if the commentary I'm not that happy with. So with that being said, we are 3 laps away from lap 80, so we're going to jump to there, and then the final 7-lap segment will be coming up shortly. So here we go, guys.
Start getting a look at your entrance to pit road. 44.721.
Alright guys, lap 80, we're just about done with it, which means we have 7 laps to go of Rallycross at Daytona International Speedway. So how cool is that? And then this concludes the last 10 lap segment of Rallycross here at Daytona International Speedway. So let's go get set up for the final 7 laps and move on to the next track. Woohoo! Alright guys, green flag for the last section of Daytona Rallycross. We're going to be doing 7 laps, and that will take us all the way to lap 87, and Rallycross at Daytona will be completed, and then we're going to move on to some road course racing. So here we go, guys. We're just going to do 1 joker lap, only 1 joker lap, and that will take us all the way to the completion of lap 7. So hope you guys have enjoyed the video so far and are looking forward to what's next. But first, we have 7 laps to complete, so we cannot celebrate just yet. We have just a little bit more to go.
45, 48.38.
Alright guys, we have just 2 laps to go, and then we are going to be finished with this challenge. So it won't be much longer, and Rallycross at Daytona will be done. And I gotta say, as frustrating as it was earlier in the challenge, towards the end of the challenge, I've started to appreciate it a little bit more. And definitely after, taking a moment to kind of rethink my approach and how I was doing the challenge, it definitely became a lot more fun.
44.804.
The final 30 laps or so have been just so much more fun than the first 50. So I kind of wish that all of them could have been that fun, but you know what? What's done is done. It was definitely a huge challenge, and I'm just happy that I didn't completely give up on it and just be like, I'm not doing the Rallycross, we're just gonna move it somewhere else. So that being said, we've got just 1 more corner to go. As you can see, I've already run my last joker lap. So coming around to the checkered flag here at Daytona International Speedway long Rallycross track. We are all done, guys. 87 laps of Rallycross, twice on 2 different tracks. So that's a ton of Rallycross, and I'm glad it's going to be a little bit of a break to the next one, but at the same time, I'm kind of upset because I was having fun. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the tour, and we'll see you on the moto track with the Radical for 87 laps of motocross road course racing. We'll see how that goes. So thank you for watching. See you later.